Hey, Oscar, congratulations on the finisher, the first man to stop Velez. How did you feel in there, honestly, and were you happy with the way you performed tonight?
Um, Being honest, at first I was a little rusty in there. Did feel like couldn't let my hands go at first. Little by little, I still felt like I kept on catching them little by little. And the most important thing that I'm glad that we got the victory. But there's still a lot to learn. There's still a lot to improve. Um, right now, I don't need no vacations. I'm ready to go back to the gym. I talked to my trainer Eddie, but so let's go back to Guadalajara and let's keep on training.
The ESPN commentary was very critical of you during the broadcast. I'm curious to see if you had a chance to hear that from others in your team, and what was your reaction to that?
Not really. I didn't hear nothing bad yet. I just got back off the ring. Right now, we'll go back to the hotel room. I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna tell me what the scorecard was and how the fight was going. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's criticizing me, who not. I'm my best critic. I'm my worst critic. I look at the fights and I judge myself. I always try to push myself to be a better fighter. And I know what I did wrong. I definitely know what I did wrong. Just like I got to throw more punches. I got to put my hands up. I got to work on my defense. You never stop learning in boxing. So right now, like I said, I'm ready to go back in the gym with Eddie Reynoso, and let's keep on improving. I'm a very positive guy. Nothing negatives in my life. I try to keep my aura always positive. And I just can't wait to go to the gym and be positive and look for my dream. Let's become world champion.
My last question regarding that, Oscar, is what they said is I feel the essence of it is they feel that you're a fighter that's stuck between two styles, not overly offensive anymore and trying to be too defensive.
I wouldn't know how to react. Just trying to be myself. I'm trying to be a better fighter, as it is. What I do know is Jayson Velez is not an easy fighter. He's an awkward fighter. He had a longer reach than me, and I feel I'm a faster fighter, but there was times in there where I couldn't catch him. Like I said, Jayson Velez is not an easy fight to go in there and just knock him out. Good thing I got the knockout, but that's something that nobody's done yet. And I'm just glad I got the victory. Like I said, I'm very positive. I'm ready to go back to the gym and keep on improving.
Thank you, thank you, Marcos. Gail, you should be up next. Here.
Thank you very much, Evan. Congratulations, Oscar. Oscar, talk a little about the whole bubble experience and whether you think that affected you, how you coped with it, and if you were concerned at all about any exposure, losing the opportunity, given how difficult this has been for everybody.
It's been very difficult. It's been difficult since training camp. Because in training camp, you weren't only training for my opponent. I was also training, but also being precautious not to get infected. We definitely needed this fight. My last fight was in November, and as everybody can see, I felt a little rusty in there. So I was very anxious to step in the ring. Which, by the way, I'm very grateful with Bob Arum, Todd, Top Rank, everybody, ESPN, because not any fighter can step in the ring right now because of this pandemic. I'm truly blessed to have the opportunity to fight. And sports are barely coming back in. Then they cancel the events, and then they let them back in. So, boxing even though it's my sport, it's my hobby. At the end of the day, it's my job as well. It's what puts food on the table. So I'm very blessed that I got the chance to fight, go back home with a little bit of money, and then to help my family. But the bubble was a new experience for me, and all these measures. It was definitely feel a little weird fighting without no crowd. I miss the crowd. I miss everybody who wants to. You knock down your opponent, but you knock them down. It pumps up the blood when everybody's screaming and shouting for you, yelling "Viva Mexico," and I really miss that. But at the end of the day, thank God we got the victory. Thank the Lord.
Thank you, Gail. Sean, go ahead, sir.
Oscar, do you think a fight with you and Berchelt would be a Morales Barrera type of war, or is that something you want and that you think it'd be, or is this something you want to avoid? Being with fights that like Scott Quigg in the past, we had to go 10 rounds with a broken jaw.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go for a war with Berchelt. It would be an honor for me. Sincerely, it would be an honor for me because I admire a lot. I admire Eddie Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera, those are the fighters I grew up watching. My idol is Eddie Morales, and they inspired me when I was a kid. So if I got the chance to inspire the new generations, that would be a dream come true for me. Because, like I said, they inspired me so much, and it would be an honor for me to consider a Barrera Morales fight. And in no way I'm trying to compare myself with them because they're my idols. For me to accomplish something near what they did, it's going to take me a long time. They're legends in my eyes, and I got nothing but respect for them. But I definitely feel it's a potential fight to be one of those fights where he's going to be a war like Eddie Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, Israel Vasquez with Rafael Marquez. Those when there's two Mexicans inside the ring, there's always fireworks, and I'm ready to give the fans what they want, which is a war. I think boxing needs that right now.
Thank you, Sean. Next up will be J.R. Bell. J.R., go ahead.
All right there, Oscar Valdez. Just going into this particular fight, how does it feel to be patient until the 10th round to get that knockout? Because you were able to connect with the knockdown in round 5, but wasn't able to quite finish until you were able to break them down until round 10 and finish in round 10.
Like I said, I did feel a little rusty in there at first. I think I blame that to a long period of time that we didn't fight since November. And like I said, Jayson Velez is an awkward fighter. I feel I have the reach on him. Little by little, I just try to keep positive. I'm gonna catch him. That was in my mind. Stay focused. Don't make any mistakes because in my last fight, I made one mistake for 2 seconds, and then I got sent to the canvas with an uppercut. Jayson Velez was trying to catch me with that uppercut, so I was just trying to be smart in there. Just be patient. On the bench, eventually I knew I was gonna catch him with a body shot or with a good shot to the head. And I just thank the Lord, thank the God that we got the victory, especially by a knockdown. It's just something that no other fighter has done. And he's fighting good fighters before.
True. Now, working with Eddie Reynoso, how is it, working with him at this particular point for this particular fight and then upcoming with your fight against Miguel Berchelt?
No, it's been great working with Eddie Reynoso. I want to thank him for putting the time and the effort inside the gym because we all know that he has a star inside the gym, which is Canelo. And that might take a lot of time for him. But at first I was a little nervous that he might not have time for me. But on the contrary, Eddie's been right there with me in the gym, putting extra hours, and I'm very thankful for that. And like I said, Eddie has a lot to offer. He has a lot to teach me, and I do feel we're improving in the gym. I just feel that one day or another we still need to show it inside the fights, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready to put good fight for the fans, and that's something that is in the future for me. I can't wait to right now step in the ring with the world title if I like Berchelt.
Thank you, JR. A couple more questions for Oscar, then we'll let him get back and rest. Jake, go ahead.
All right, thanks. Oscar, congratulations on tonight. I know Gail asked earlier about your experience in the bubble. You said it was awkward fighting without fans. So with that, would you still want to fight Berchelt if we're in the same circumstance and there couldn't be fans in attendance? Or would you want another fight if you could get another tune-up fight?
I don't want another fight. I want to go straight for the title. I'm very anxious right now. I think about the world title every day. And, ever since I was a kid, ever since I started boxing, the title that I always wanted was a WBC title. When I was in school, when I was back home, I used to draw pictures of myself and draw the WBC world title. I used to draw myself. That's a dream that I had ever since I was 9 years old. So I'm hungry and I'm anxious. I'm not getting any younger. I'm 29 years old. I'm ready to go in there and give it a shot. I know it's a tough shot. It's not going to be easy playing like I'm a champion. There's a reason why he's a world champion. I know a lot of people are doubting me, because I'm a tough fighter, but it's okay. I got no problem. That's just an extra motivation. I want to surprise the world. The dreams do come true. That's been proven before. And nobody's invincible. So I want to go back to the gym, keep on training, and let's go straight for it. Berchelt. Fans or no fans, I want to fight them. It would be nice if the fans could go. I think that's a fight that I think the fans would enjoy to be present. But if not, let's do this. I'm excited for this, and let's go for my dream.
Very cool. Thanks so much, Ted.
We'll do one more question for Oscar. Anybody else have a question? Raise your hand, and then we'll get him out of here. Sean, go ahead.
Hey, Oscar, touching again on how this could be like a Morales-Barrera type fight. I know you love Morales, but Barrera, like yourself, he could box, but it seemed like because he was shorter than Morales, he knew it was best for him, and he felt it was best for him to make, take the war to him. Do you think that would be more of the style you bring against Berchelt instead of the boxer?
A little funny because, even though when I was a kid, I say my idol was Eddie Morales because that's what it was at that time when they were fighting. I was rooting for Eddie Morales, but it doesn't mean I don't admire Marco Barrera. I actually feel I have a similar looking style than Barrera than Eddie Morales. He's shorter and even though Barrera got the best out of him, I admire Barrera a lot. I know him in person. It's like I said, even though I've always rooted. When I was a kid, I rooted more for Morales. Now that I'm older, I'm more closer to Barrera. Barrera's been a natural, better friend to me. He's been a great guy. I respect him. I got nothing but love for Barrera. I learn a lot from him. Something that people don't know is that every time I'm a fight, I see his fights. I go on YouTube and I see his fights. I try to imitate the way he goes to the body, and then little things he does. Cause I feel I have a similar style to him than Eddie Morales because Eddie Morales has a longer reach. So I always see Barrera fight. I'm sorry, what was the question? I just got a little excited saying Barrera. Like I said, I admire both of them. I really do admire both of them a lot. And that's why I always say I don't in no way wish to compare myself to them because those are my idols.
It's just that, Berchelt, like Morales in those fights, is the taller guy, a little bit taller, more natural 130-pounder. So Barrera, even though he could box, he in those fights, he opted to just go after him, make the fight on the inside against, even though Morales was bigger. Is that kind of what more the style you would do against Berchelt?
You said it perfectly. Like I said, every time I want to fight, I look at his fights because I feel like I have a similar style to him. And in a way, that's something that I would actually fight Berchelt. Because Barrera, he could box as well, and also bang. So that's something similar. And sometimes, even though you got a game plan and the fans get excited, that blood pumps up and the game plan's out of the window. And just go toe to toe and just give the fans what they want, which is a war. So I'm ready to do that too.